Decision Diaries.
Welcome to Decision Diaries. Today on Decision Diaries, we are going to talk about the forgotten holiday.
The forgotten holiday, Father's Day.
As we know, it's Mother's Day weekend and it's
Mother's
only
Day.
Father's Day.
Yeah.
I just want to do a
Mother's
little
Day
side by
weekend.
side comparison between how we say Mother's Day weekend and we say Father's Day. So I wanted to do this special episode where we celebrate fathers all week long. So I'm actually releasing this podcast the week before Father's Day. So you get a whole Father's Day week and you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Wow. This might be the best Father's Day present I've ever had, Lynn.
I don't think that it can beat the Father's Day sticker hammer. And I want to describe this gift right now because I do have it in front of me because I did want to talk about how awesome of a gift giver I
Well, it
am for
says it.
Father's Day.
It says awesome.
Yes, it does say awesome actually on the gift. So this is a hammer, and on the handle it says awesome dad ? Nailed it ! And on the other side, it says love, comma, Corey, ampersand, and Sean. And although this sounds like a really awesome gift that you nailed it and the hammer is actually useful, I did, when I ordered this from a crafty friend, I did for some reason think it was going to be engraved, but then later came to find out that it's just a sticker.
Yeah, it's definitely a sticker. But you know what? It was cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a lot of grief for it, but it is on our bookshelf, and it is one of those laughable things because it kind of brings to mind the fact that fathers are very hard to shop for, and I am struggling. I think I'm putting a photo book together for my dad, and he gave me some pictures, but I still don't know what I'm doing for you, and I still don't know what I'm doing for your dad.
What did you do for me last year? Do you remember? Because I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
That must have been awesome. What did I do?
Nothing, because we were traveling. We were on a plane the whole day and on a car driving 5 hours back.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, now you're going to sound like you're whining.
The forgotten holiday.
Well, now you're going to sound like you're whining because this trip that we were on was a trip to Italy. Boys were with us. We all took a moment and paused in all of our travel.
No, you did
Yes,
not.
we did.
You're
We
so
all
full
told
of it.
you that we loved you as we were traveling.
Oh, I call BS on that. No, that's BS. I didn't care anyway. I just wanted to be home. It was all good. I was with my family. That's all I really wanted for Father's Day anyway.
Okay, well, you got it, but I don't know if I'm delivering that this time because
No, I don't think we'll be on a plane. I don't think we'll be on a train. I don't think we'll be driving 5 hours to see any one of our children. So no, it's cool. I'm down. It's okay.
Okay, well, I don't want you to be depressed on this Father's Day. We are going to go obviously do something with our dads, but we don't know yet.
Right.
So wait and see, Dad. I don't know what I'm doing for you, but I'm going to do something, and we're going to do something for my father-in-law too. So talk about dadness.
Being dad is the coolest thing ever.
Okay.
Okay, maybe not coolest thing ever, but it's the
No,
hardest thing I've ever done.
I thought the dad joke was going to come in there because
I
it
don't
seemed
have
like that's where it was
I don't
going.
have a good dad joke.
Oh,
being a
you
dad.
always do the same one with the buffalo.
Well, yeah, the bison with the buffalo said he was his son.
Yes.
Bison.
Yeah, you crack the kids up with that one.
That's
Yeah.
a great one.
Okay.
But yeah, it's tough being a parent or a dad because I have 2 boys and they definitely look up to me. They definitely want to emulate some of the things I did when I was a younger father, and I see some of those things they've done and they do in them. So it's kind of cool. They're little parrots, but I think they're more parrots of both of us than just me. You say I get more out of them. I don't know. I mean, you had a lot of control too. If you wanted the grass mowed or wanted something like that done, then yes, I was the heavy to get him to do something. But I don't know. I mean, it was fun. the most challenging and most rewarding thing and the most frustrating thing I've done at the same time. Um,
It's hard to imagine. I think you always knew you were going to be a dad. Is that
Absolutely,
right?
no question,
Yeah.
no question, because I always wanted to be a parent. It was, I don't know, I really look up to my father, still look up to my father at 90, almost 91 years old. Um, I looked up to your dad. He was a great role model. Um, yeah, I knew I was going to be a dad. There was no question to me in my mind. It was just a matter of time. It took a little longer than I wanted it to. I was think it was 30, 31 when we had our first child.
32. 32. And as fun as it sounds with trying,
Mm.
we got to the point where
You were
we
32. I was 31. Let's get this right.
oh, okay. Well,
You are the older woman.
let's just say we thought it would be easy. We thought it would be fun. It did turn into a little bit of a chore, involve some pillows and
Had a lot
uh,
of
and
practicing.
a lot of practicing. And then just when we were about to say maybe it's just not our time, uh, it happened. And
Yeah, that
so
was a scary moment. You came home and you said you weren't feeling well and you went to the doctor. I don't think I was there with you when they said you were pregnant. I think you kind of called me and said, "Hey, guess what?
yeah,
We did it."
I thought that I would do more of an announcement, but I think I just couldn't hold it in from you. So
Well,
I think it was just like, yeah, this is happening, and then, of course,
you followed my lead on the proposal.
yeah, yeah. I think the announcement of the baby was right there in planning with the proposal of marriage. It was uneventful, but we immediately called our parents.
Absolutely. First thing we did.
Now, did your dad say anything to you personally after he found out that you were going to be a dad?
I don't recall if he said anything. I know he was proud. I know he was excited. Um, yeah, he was. He has 9 grandchildren, so it wasn't
Yeah,
a big
yeah,
deal.
we were
But
kind of at the end of the
yeah, well,
grandchildren.
I was the baby, so it wasn't a big deal. But no, he had nothing. He was excited for me. My mom was excited. Everybody was excited. So yeah, that was pretty much that. I mean, it's also 22 years ago, almost 23 years ago now. Um, yeah, I don't know if he had anything special to say, like hold on to your hats. It's going to be a fun ride. I mean, yeah.
Can you just even, I mean, so
Can I tell you one other good memory when we
yeah, oh, sure.
Oh, I got two really good memories when the kids were born. Two
Okay.
really good memories when the kids were born. When Sean was born, 2 days before he was born, 2 days, I lost my job.
Yeah, that was a good time.
That sucked. That sucked so bad, and I was like, oh, the stress was coming on me, and I went to work, making things happen, and I mean, 2 days before he was born, we made through it. I mean, we just it sucked for about a week, but I had a job, I was working, and we were back at it. So
Yeah, we actually you really didn't we didn't really share with anybody because
no,
as people came into the hospital room, we just wanted people to appreciate the moment.
yeah,
And you were a
you
little bit
heard
of
it
a
here first, folks.
yeah, yeah, and what's really interesting looking back on it, I think it was you who I after I'd given birth and our child had this really high pitched scream. I think it was you who identified that the high pitched scream that sounded like a screeching owl was actually coming from our child.
Yeah, yeah, I remember it clear as day, laying on the futon couch over there, and we're talking and just going, oh my God, that just happened. And then all of a sudden we hear like an owl screech, and what the hell was that? And you were like, you told me to look around the room, see if there's stepped on anything.
Yeah, like I thought a bed had
And I was
moved
like,
or
it's coming from where the kid's at. It's the kid. It's Sean. She's like, What?" And we dealt with that for like 3 years, maybe that screeching noise.
yeah, yeah, the screeching noise. And the other thing that I thought was great about you being a very helpful dad is that I would say that I was breastfeeding at the time, and I would say I was input and you were output. So anytime
Changed a lot of
that
diapers.
the child's diaper was soiled, I would hand the baby off to you when you were around, when you weren't at work.
Hey,
So
I
that was
had
nice.
that down like an F1 pit crew, buddy. I could change a diaper in 3 seconds flat. I was good.
And my mom did mention a lot that she never saw my dad change a diaper
Yeah,
for either my sister and I. Different times, different
it was
times.
different times, and like I said, I wanted to be a part of their lives, so I stepped in the middle of it, literally. And with Corey, the thing I remember about Corey's birth was, well, not being there,
Yeah.
totally missing it by like 5 minutes. That was the craziest thing. It was during Hurricane Charlie, and I go up the stairs and open the door, and I hear a baby crying. And while I was downstairs looking for a video camera, it was gone maybe 10, 20 minutes. Feels like maybe 45. Come back, and I'm a dad, and I'm number two. And I was like, what just happened? I walk in the door, and I hear the baby crying. I turn around and leave. I think I was in the wrong room, and I hear your voice, and I was like, "Oh God, I missed being born." And yeah, Corey kind of came out quick. He's our runner, man. He's the wild man. So yeah,
He doesn't wait for
he
anybody.
waits for no one.
Yeah, yeah. I think you spent a lot more time running after him. And I also think you've spent more time with him in the emergency room.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A couple emergency room visits with him. I've had one with him and one with Sean. Yeah,
Yeah? Oh, no, one for one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, every dad's got to do a emergency room visit. I think, the funnier one was the dislocated arm with Corey.
Oh yeah, that sucked. That was my fault.
I could see it happening.
Here's a side note: people, don't pick your kid up by their arms,
One arm.
one arm or both arms. Actually, if you're swinging your kids, this is how they say it happens a lot. Like both arms dislocate. If you're swinging your kids around doing the little circle thing with their
Okay.
arms,
Yeah.
the doctor goes, it happens all the time. You can dislocate his arm doing the same thing. I just happened to pick Corey up by his arm because he was sitting on our dog. I was like, oh, come on, kid. And I pick him up, and he twisted on me and took his arm out location dislocation. So I hustled him to the hospital, and the doctor gives me a strange look. Why is his arm dislocated? I'm like, I tell him the story. He goes, oh, it happens all the time, dude. Don't worry about it. I got this. 2 seconds later, pops it back in place. No more crying. He's good to go. Had a big smile on his face, and came back home. And yeah, you still had that like I'm going to kill you, Bruce look on your face. I'm like, look, he was good, and yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take him because I could see it coming with the way you picked him up. And I imagine that's like I imagine that's mainly a dad thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Because I think a lot of dads, like I remember I was swung around by my arms by
yeah,
my
we all
dad. I don't
were.
think my mom swung me around by her arms. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
my dad
it
did.
was it was yeah.
I think it's a dad thing.
Yeah, we've roughed house a lot in this house. So a lot of good times swimming in the pool, pushing them in the pool, flipping them in the pool, all that kind of stuff. It was all
Oh,
fun.
throwing him in the pool.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think
having their friends come over, throwing all his friends in the pool.
I do like that during our 4th of July party, a lot of the dads gathered at the end of the pool and were throwing all the kids in the pool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was another dad thing. That was very much dad thing. That's
yeah,
what dads do. Is, you guys don't have as much fear about hurting them when you hurl your kids around.
that's awesome.
That's that's
They're
a
like
that's
little
an
bean bags
interesting. I
almost.
mean, I suppose. I mean, I wonder why that is. Why is it like a guy instinct to try to like toughen up your kids? Like is
I
it like
had
a survivor thing?
maybe. I mean, I didn't have delicate girls, so I wanted my boys to be rough and tumble and be able to handle themselves. Um, yeah, they're fine. I mean, I used to show them how to do cannonballs and flips. I think the favorite part of the Fourth of July party is doing the lemon drop, and I made the big wave and
Oh
splash in the
yeah,
pool.
when you guys do the belly flops, it's
Yeah,
like all the dads doing the belly flops and all the boys are watching the dads doing the belly flops and you know that they're going to try to beat them and that's kind of fun. And then
yeah,
they stand on your shoulders and jump off your
yeah.
shoulders and yeah, yeah. Now, also during 4th of July, there's usually a line of boys who teaches the boys how to pee on fences.
Oh, that was definitely the dads, buddy.
Is that the dad's? Is that a dad or is that a natural thing?
Yes.
It's
The answer is
both?
yes.
It's
It
both?
can be both. A boy's going to go where a boy's going to go.
Okay,
Do you
I
want him to
hear
go in
you.
the pool?
No, no, but you can also walk into the house
You're
and
being
use the
just, oh,
bathroom.
you didn't want to walk in the house. You want to go take a
And we
leak
do
and then
have,
get back in the
yes.
pool.
Yes, we have pictures and I was like, why do they have to hit the fence? I don't want the fence to smell. They just should hit the grass.
It's going to
But,
rain soon anyway. It'll be okay.
I mean, I'm saying that's again, that's one of those things that the dads just kind of hand down. And then
Tradition,
the
being on the
other,
fence.
well, I would say one of the things that I think my dad handed down to me was that when you're by the ocean and you get stung by a jellyfish, people will people now say, you're supposed to pee on yourself. But apparently, my dad always felt like beer was a great antiseptic, and there were several times where I either stepped on something, he just poured beer on it, and or I do something else and he'd pour beer on it. We're like, "You're fine, you're fine."
When
I
is
think that's a
beer
dad
not the
thing.
best thing?
Well, apparently, beer is the for dads is the antiseptic of all antiseptics.
It's everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we
It's
poured
from the
beer.
gods, Lynn.
Did we pour beer on
We
Corey's
never did
foot
that.
when
No.
he stepped on the oyster?
No, we did not do that. We actually had it cleaned
Oh, okay.
because that
All
was
right.
nasty.
That was
That's
that
pretty
was
gnarly.
that was another one of those almost near emergency room things. So, your dad have any tradition you feel like you could that you think about? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. It just came to mind.
Oh.
Your dad
Oh, yes. It's
for baptism,
not baptisms when they were children.
it's when they're children, but it's
They're
so
young children.
scary.
It's not young. It's not
He
scary.
takes a child that's under a year old
Typically, they can stand. They can almost stand.
that can almost stand. This child has not learned how to walk, and he grabs them just by their feet and balances them on the end of his hand. And I remember thinking to myself, if he drops our baby and our baby is permanently damaged, I will never ever forgive my father-in-law ever again. And of course, we provided grandchild number 8. So he had done this to 7 other children, grandchildren, and they'd all lived, but this was my child. So, and this is the first time I saw this tradition happen with my
Yeah.
first child, and the first child survived. And then the second one, who was a little more squirrely and a little bit more like you never knew when he was going to just move his body in crazy ways, super nervous, and he did that to him as well. And we have pictures of this, and it just takes your breath away. But that was your dad's tradition of
That was
of
his
of
move,
like,
man.
and he did that to every
Every kid.
every kid,
Yeah, I remember every one of
and
them.
he probably
Yeah,
did that to you when you were a kid.
probably did. He put us in the palm of his hand. Mind you, he has big,
Well,
beefy ass
yeah, he's a
hands, and
contractor.
yeah,
He's got
big
very
beefy
strong
hands,
hands.
and strong arms. And he would take one hand just to keep it to the side. He'd bounce them up and kind of hold them out a little bit.
Yeah, like a baseball bat. Like if
like
you just
like somebody
imagine
like
somebody
a
taking a baseball bat and putting it on their hand and balancing it. Now imagine that with a child that
under
doesn't know how
one,
to walk
under one.
under one. I mean, oh my gosh. I even my friends, all of our friends were like, "You let him?" I'm like, "I don't have a choice. This is like a rite of passage of this weird Layfield father tradition, and you did not do that. Are you going to do that to our grandchildren?
Probably not.
I think it's scary.
I probably will do something similar to it, but
I
not
mean,
that.
there's so many other things we can do to our grandchildren. Please do not do that. I don't know that you have that skill, but your dad definitely has that skill. Now, my dad brought his own father of 2 daughters. So when he had grandsons, over the moon having grandsons. And so my dad brought his own traditions, which was usually, being slightly inappropriate, talking about tallywhackers. And the kids understood what a tallywhacker was. And I was like, Dad. And he's like, well, they know what's going on. And so he might have been the one that showed them how to pee on the fence, because I think he was like, hey, I don't know, he would just make little I don't know how we would get it in the conversation, but I know that our kids understood what my dad was talking about when he was like, "Oh, I'll take the boys. They gotta release. They gotta go tell with their tallywhackers." I was like, "Oh my god, Dad. Okay." But he was so happy that he had grandchildren that had tallywhackers. I think that's what it was. Maybe that he was just happy he had boys
I think he was happy. Period.
because he
Yeah,
didn't get baseball players.
no, he didn't get baseball players. He wanted baseball players. He had a glove for them, but our boys were soccer players, and I think Billy was a little bit of a football player and surfs a lot. So,
Yeah,
yeah, whatever. I mean, but as a dad, I mean, so many great moments. I mean, you know, coaching Sean and Corey. I was blessed to be able to coach them both. Um, I got to go to every event. Um,
just like your dad
just like my father did, and that's a tradition my father always had. So I went to
and
every
mine.
event and yours. Um, so to me that was a big thing is being there, and and um, and that's what being a dad was all about was just being there, right? I mean, I never had the right answers, as you know. I
Well,
mean,
you didn't have the right answers about relationships.
sure I didn't.
So I
I've
think
been
it's
with one
really
for forever here.
I think it's really important that you did show the boys that you need to have that your girlfriend or your wife should be your best friend. So I
Right,
appreciated that.
and they know how to
But
treat women.
yeah, but I don't think you knew when a girl liked her boys or when a girl was about to break up with her boys. And
Bullshit. I call bullshit on that
oh, you do?
because you and I both knew when that was about to happen. So I call bullshit.
Okay. Maybe you get the breakups, but you may not have gotten the best choices.
I just said if a girl likes you, if you want to go learn how to be a boyfriend, go out with them. He asked me a question. Hey, if she likes you, go out with her. And say I did it for Sean and Corey.
I know, I know, but
I don't have any regrets on that.
I do think that there were some criteria there that some people
Oh,
didn't.
you're the one that set the criteria, not me.
So relationships, okay, maybe okay. I'll give it to you. I give you
Thank
thirty
you.
percent. I give you 30%.
I'd take 60.
Okay, that's something else that I'd just like to reach out to the women and talk about for a second, especially during this Father's Day time.
Forgotten holiday.
No, I think this is important to recognize, and I did say this to our son, our oldest son, the other day, is that it's sad, but it's true that when it comes to parenting, I do think that moms keep score with the dads at times, and that sometimes moms tend to give ourselves 10 points for everything we do for the kids, and sometimes we give the dads point 0.5 for everything they do. And I really appreciate that there were times that you were like, I am doing things. And that when you and I would sit down and we'd do that little, what they did on the nanny, where they get a plate out and they say, who's responsible for this and who's responsible for that? That when you and I would sort of play the are we truly equal parents game, you would point out that, yeah, you were doing things. And I was like, I'm sorry. I guess I gave myself 10 points because I made dinner and I gave you point 0.5 for the yard. Or I gave you 10 point. I gave myself 10 points for picking the kids up from school. And then when you picked them up from school, I gave you point 0.2.
I'm going to take a shot at you right here because you're taking shots at me.
I'm not taking a shot. I'm
Oh,
saying
you're
that this
taking a
is a
shot.
thing. No, I'm
Here's the
saying this is
thing,
a thing.
Lynn. It's always a competition with you, but with the kids, it wasn't for me. To me, the kids were not a competition.
That was not
It
my
was
point.
you were
No,
just
my
rating them.
point was that women have to take a step back.
She was just rating them. You heard her. She was giving me a point 0.2 where she was getting a 10-0. No, she was rating me. No,
No, I'm
negative
saying no.
ghostwriter. I'm not taking that
No.
one.
Wait, stop for a second. I
You
am.
can delete that out.
I'm speaking to the women, and I'm saying that
Don't.
we have a habit of giving ourselves more points, and we shouldn't. That's my point. You missed my point.
Forgotten holiday.
You missed my point. But my point was, you should get the full 10 points.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Yeah, you should get the full 10 points. I agree with that. You picked them up from school. You did a great job. I'm serious. I'm being serious.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like
I
that?
can't believe you're rating the way we raised our kids. That's silly. I did not
That's not
compete
what
with
I
you on
was
that.
saying. I was saying mentally
Everything
that's what
else you and
moms
I
tend
could.
to do. That's what
Everything else
moms tend to do.
that's what you do. Everything else we competed on.
I agree.
but I did not compete with the kids with you because you're the mother. You were to me you were their golden person. They're gonna remember everything you've done and everything you did more than they'll remember the little things I've done. So you are the
That is not true.
oh come
That
on,
is
Lynn.
not
You
true.
gave birth to them.
Sean's over there. Yeah, okay, I get 100 points for the birth.
Absolutely.
Okay, because yeah, you were just standing on your feet while I was doing a lot of work there. But
I
it's
had to get it.
Father's
Had
Day.
a yeah. It's Father's Day. Forgotten holiday. See, it's about the moms.
It always comes back around to the moms. That's my point. Is that it's Father's Day, so we should stay on Dad. Keep
Yeah,
going, honey.
stay on me as much as you want, Lynn.
I am staying on. I'm focused on all the awesomeness that dads bring because I don't think I could have done it without you. There's no way I could have raised boys without you or children or dog,
Well, yeah.
especially the new dog.
Especially the new dog. No, you probably would be fine. But I think just being a dad is just being there. To me, you got to be there. You got to listen. I've you know I'd like to think I listened to everything my kids said when they were in the car, but I know I did not. Maybe because I was listening to sports talk radio and maybe the radio most of the time in the mornings. But there was times I listened to what they had to say and listened to what they were talking about. And the kids knew how to relate to other parents about sports, maybe because I had sports talk radio on during the day. I don't know.
Well, and I mean, it goes without saying that we raised talkers. So you did come up with this great little technique to get our little jabberjaw child to stop talking so much in the car. You want to talk about that little gem of a Father Day technique?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I would go see my parents on Tuesday nights when Lynn was at the gym, and to we had to drive through downtown. This is what you're talking about.
Yes.
We had to drive through downtown, and the quote was, "If you want to see the buildings, you need to be quiet." So he was quiet all the way to my parents' house, and he got to see the buildings. It worked. It was a win-win. I don't know what the problem here is.
I mean, I guess
I
you
mean, the
get
fact that you're not creative enough to think of that is beyond me.
yeah, that's a pretty cool father trick that you had going on there. And it only worked for you. If I said that,
Oh yeah,
it
no.
wasn't. I didn't have enough conviction. It wasn't believable. So another one of those unique father contributions. 20 points. There you go. You get more points.
I'm trying to get to 100, Lynn. That's all I'm trying to do.
You're trying to get to 100. Oh no, there's
There's
the
our
dog.
other child,
There's our other child, our new child, which is a girl dog.
girl dog.
So more on Father's Day. What else do you think about when you think about being a dad? It never ends.
It never ends. You're always the ideas person, the advice person, and I didn't realize I did it to my father or my mother, but mainly my father. I didn't realize I did that until I had kids. When my kids were asking me for a diet, now they're young adults, they're asking me for advice, and now I realize, like, oh yeah, I did that too. I asked my father for questions about this or how to deal with this, how to deal with that, and the crazy women that we deal with, or pains or injuries, things like that. How do we deal with this? All little things that my kids have asked of me that I
Well,
know I've asked of my father.
I remember when we got the phone call of a vital piece of advice because somehow our child never picked up this skill was when he asked you how to use a plunger.
Yeah, that was an interesting call, and he should have known how to use a plunger. That was
But he
a,
was living on
you
his
know,
own, and I guess you
I
always
grew up.
plunged for him.
Yeah,
Maybe you always plunged for him.
I was a plunger.
I
I was the
guess he
maintenance
never
guy around the
plunged.
house.
Yeah, I guess he never
He
plunged
can
for
mow
himself.
grass. He can mow grass really good. He has that going for him. But as far as plunging floaters out of the toilet, I guess he's not so
I
good.
guess I don't know, but he called long distance, requested you, and that was something you had to guide him through. And I thought of all the weird first calls after moving away from home. That was not what I expected.
No, no. But I probably did the same with my father. But I asked my dad how to do things all the time. It was before YouTube, so I mean, YouTube, you can just about learn anything on YouTube, but you know,
Somehow,
somehow,
plunger wasn't on
but
there.
yeah, but that was a cool call to have, as a dad.
Yeah,
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 it's just like,
that's.
well, you stick it in there, you push it down, hope everything breaks loose. I mean, that was the conversation I recall. Uh, so
Go,
yeah,
dad.
yeah, win-win. Hey, it working now, Dad. Yeah,
There you go.
some kids are rocket science. I'm telling you, smart kids, love them. Not gonna solve anything big in this group,
No, no, not
but
at all.
they're good kids. They're fun to be around. They make me laugh. They're interesting. They like to do interesting things. They like to do a lot of things we like to do.
Well, and I think the other thing that was cute that you enjoyed, and I think a lot of people have these pictures. Overall, I think a lot. Maybe this is what I need to find this picture, and this is what maybe I need to do for Father's Day, is to bring you all the way back there now that our children are 22. But we do have some great pictures of both of our boys when they were babies sleeping on your chest while you watched sports.
Oh yeah, no, that was awesome. Like I remember I think it was the 2002 uh, World Cup with in Korea. The USA was playing, so I'd wake up. I was one of the idiots who would wake up in the middle of the night to go watch the games. Um, so I'd watch the games, and knowing Sean was going to wake up, I would just go ahead and get him, wake him up, feed him, and he'd sit there and watch the games with me at 6 months old. And that was fun. That was fun. And then, you know, after I knew I could do that, and then during the weekends, I was on duty all weekend. I would I'd wake up early and watch the Formula One races that were in Europe or China, wherever the races were at. We'd wake up early, and I had Sean saying Giancarlo Fisichella at before one, which is a mouthful. And then I had him, of course, Michael Schumacher, Ferrari. I had him saying all the cool things that a dad would want to hear from his kid. And
Well, my dad taught him something.
what?
My dad taught him to say, "Leave the gun, take the cannoli."
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
That was really important.
I think it was fun. Yeah, that was always cool. Corey didn't want to wake up. By the time Corey was around, I was really enjoying my sleep, so I did not wake up as much as early as I did. And because I knew Corey was going to wake me up at 6 a.m. anyway, be knocking on my head in the morning. He's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
Dad, let's
because he
go."
climbed out of the crib
Yeah, he'd get out of the crib and
and
go.
he stared at us like children of the corn.
Yeah, yeah,
It was very creepy.
yeah. But I'd get up with him, feed him, play with him for a while, and then you would slowly come rolling in. Sean would roll in, and it was here we go. Here's a weekend. What are we doing today? So
All
yeah.
right. Well, there's early dadness,
Hmm.
and now you've got boys that actually can drink with you. You've got
Yeah,
now you've got mini men. What's that
yeah.
like?
I mean, I always thought it was cool to have a beer with my father. Uh, I don't know. With Sean, I thought he would want to have a beer with me, and he has. Um, it's different. Corey, I've had a beer with Corey. Yeah, I know he's not over 21 yet, but we have had a beer with him. It's but as young adults, it's kind of exciting to see Sean traveling the country, travel the world like he did, traveling places, learning new things, learning what not to do. Corey, the same thing, going to Austin a couple times by himself, and learning, how to navigate airports, and understanding people well enough to when to be in and out of situations. And it's fun. I mean, it's fun to see your kids grow up and they want to hang with you. Sometimes it's kind of cool. Like for his 21st birthday, Corey wants to go to Epcot and go drinking around the world.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
that's gonna be fun.
let's go.
And
Sounds
he
like fun.
really wants more of the dads there. I think the moms are going to be trailing behind, but it does feel like that's a kind of father rite of passage. So, oh, another good idea just popped in my head. And I guess I'm just going to share it with you because I'll find out if it's a good idea or not. But maybe we should get a nice father son mug or a special brew of some kind that is like father son, like at Wicked Barley, like Father Day mugs or something. I don't know. Like have a brew, have a like a beer with dad, and we maybe have like special beer. You can make a special beer.
I could, but I'm not.
Oh,
Um,
okay, bad idea. I'm just gonna throw these out there and
not
see if
right
they
now.
land.
Not right.
All right, you're
Toss it.
getting another hammer.
Awesome.
You
Could
get
use a new
another
hammer.
hammer.
Maybe a tape measure.
My
Um,
dad's gonna get a photo book.
that's cool. I, I'm not worried about gifts. Like I said, I think the coolest thing is to spend time with them. And I know this year we won't get to spend time with it, but I am getting to spend time with Sean this week. So, which is kind of cool. I mean, because he does live in Texas, but he is in town for for the week because he did have some dental work done here. Um, so that's going to be kind of cool. Corey will come in for a day or so, which is fine, and we'll go to dinner and hang out. And that's really all I want to know is everybody's okay. I don't need anything because as a dad, most dads go out and they go buy what they want anyway.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't want my kids to go out and buy me a mountain bike. Hint, hint, Lynn.
Uh huh.
Um, I don't want my kids to go out and buy me a mountain bike, but because I want to pick that out specific for me.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't think our kids are that successful to buy you a mountain bike, but nice try. Maybe in the future.
just ask. I mean, come on.
Well, then
Um,
in that case, you probably should ask for like a tag watch or something.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, if we're visualizing here,
If we're shooting for
if
the
we're
moon,
dreaming here.
Land Rover Defender wouldn't be bad either.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, a car.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah. Hey man, kids, if they're going to be successful, go big, man.
That's right. There's some Father's
You know
Day
what? I
gifts.
don't want my kids buying me things like that. Seriously,
Okay.
because I don't want. These are the kind of things a man wants to buy for himself,
Oh, okay.
and I want now for you. They can buy you whatever you want.
Well, again, this is not about me. This is about
But I'm
fathers.
just saying. But a man doesn't want doesn't want that.
Okay.
So he doesn't. He wants to buy it for himself. That's what guys do.
Okay. So wrapping up, we have zero ideas for anybody to buy for Father's Day
You know
at this
what?
point.
Make them breakfast, make them lunch, give them a beer. Don't if you got young ones, make it easy for him because he's still going to want to play because that's what dads do. They want to play and have fun and go rough tumble. Take him skiing, water skiing, take him to the beach, um, take them bike riding. They want to do all that stuff. That's what dads want to do. They want to go out and do things. So make it easy. Make that easy. If I were to tell any mom out there, make it easy for your husband to spend time with his children. Don't make it a hassle. Take care of all the little details. If it's riding bikes, like we did one Father's Day where we went out and rode bikes, make it so the bikes are ready to go or everything's ready to go, so it's an easy transition. Because
That's a good point.
yeah, I mean, to me, not having to load the bikes up or make food, like I would probably load the bikes up anyway because I don't want you loading the bikes up. Um, but having food prepped or sandwiches or stuff in a cooler, everything prepped, ready to go, where the dad just needs to pack the truck up or the car and go. That is to me, that's awesome.
Oh,
That would be a
well, now
good
I'm getting some ideas.
yeah. That to me, that's where it's at because at the end of the day, I really don't want to do all that little stuff like stopping by the store, picking up ice in the cooler, all the things that slow me down when I want to go somewhere. Like if I want to go ride somewhere, I don't want things to slow me down or get in my way. I want to go do those things. So,
Oh,
so if I could say one thing to moms, just make it easy. Make it easy for one day. Give the dude a break. He doesn't need to load the car. You got kids, make them load themselves.
oh, I love that. That is a really good. Okay, I love that idea. And then I'm going back to my original point that on Father's Day, you get an extra 100 points for doing absolutely nothing. And moms, make sure that if you are, doing the kudos, that you understand that, sometimes we heavily weight what we do a little over dads, but dads are so important. And again, I couldn't have raised children without your help and your partnership and you being involved, and on the days you coached it was nice because you were on the field with them, and
You got to sit back and
I did get
relax.
to sit back and relax. I wasn't even
Gosh.
like a coach's wife. I just was like, nope, some other wife could do that. I wasn't even the coach's. I wasn't even
You're
like
the coach's wife, but you were the team
I was
mom.
I yeah, I was never the team mom. Sorry, that was not my jam. So, okay, so we just want to say to everyone out there, hope you have a great Father's Day week. And that's why we're releasing this podcast early. I am probably going to take a picture of the hammer so you can
Take a picture
laugh
of the hammer. The hammer's awesome.
at
The
my
hammer
expense.
tells you it's awesome.
Yes, it does. And you can laugh at my expense. And I want to say to my dad, I love you so much. I want to say to my father in law, I love you so much, even though you almost risked my children's life when they were under the age of 2 years old. And I want to say that now I have an idea of what I'm going to do for you for Father's Day.
Awesome.
So that worked out. This was all a ruse just to get that out of you.
Hey, let's go.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the dads out there. Yeah.
Decision Diaries.